Well, Mark, nice to see you. And I guess first of all, we need to speak just briefly about the events on Saturday. It was a horrible day for everyone involved, and of course, thoughts go out to the family of the supporters that passed away. But that must have been just quite a surreal experience for you and your players.
I think that's the word, surreal. That's what it was. The whole day was surreal, with the early kick-off time, and then what happened was surreal. And I think you have to, it's just about people then, isn't it? It's not about football, it's about people and making sure that we deal with it in the right manner. And I thought everybody connected, dealt with it in the right way.
Yeah, they certainly did. And from a Yeovil point of view, the medical staff really reacted brilliantly, didn't they? And did all they could to help. That's
right. The boys with Kai and Scott were over there pretty quickly and helping out. So sad for the people involved. And like you say, our sincere condolences go out to them.
And of course, from then, you then had a game in the Somerset Premier Cup on Tuesday. Because you didn't play that game, was that a sort of positive? And you named a very strong team and got the result.
I was always going to name a strong team in that game. I think winning becomes a habit, and I was going to use it as part of the training week. Players had their Christmas do over the weekend, so it was a way of getting some training into them. So yeah, it was important. I thought that we paid respect to the competition and tried to progress, and we got some minutes into some guys that needed it. Great to see Charlie Wakefield back, and we got some minutes into him and Lawson and Britton. So we got minutes into players that really needed it. So it worked out well.
And it was a good level of opposition as well. Just one division below. So a really good way for those players to make a stake their chance to get into the 11.
That's right. Well, Rob, the tournament manager, he named a really strong team as well. I think that was pretty close to their starting 11. So it was always going to be a good game, and I thought the players acquitted themselves really well, and we probably deserved to win the game.
And you mentioned him there, Lewis Britton, getting his first goal for Yeovil, and it was very much a poacher's finish, as you've spoken about him so many times.
He put himself in the right position. He had some chances before that, and the one thing about him, he doesn't get too disheartened if he misses one. He wants to put himself forward to take the next one, and that's what he did with a great finish.
And from the highlights, there were quite a few chances. We've spoken about it so many times. Need to be scoring more goals in the league, so that will give you real positives that you're creating those chances.
Yeah, I think as long as we're creating them, and we'd rather be creating and missing than not creating at all. And listen, it was good performance, and plenty of chances, a couple of good goals, and we get through to the next round.
And of course, another couple of players, Ollie Holbert and Will Dawes, have both gone out on loan. How important is that for you as a manager, that they're getting minutes elsewhere, and for them as players as well?
I think it's so important that the young boys they're out playing games. I have to come in and judge or decide who or what I think can help us at the moment. And at this moment in time, it's probably not the right environment for those guys to be in the midst of what is or was still a relegation battle. So the next best thing for them is to be out playing men's football. And I'm a firm believer in that all young players, as soon as they're ready, should be going out and playing men's football. And the level is not massively important. It's just the fact that they understand what getting 3 points means on a Saturday night or a Tuesday night, that they understand that the importance of that.
And next up, of course, at Hewish Park, Scunthorpe, another big side, big football league, ex-football league side, sitting bottom of the division. That's two of the relegated clubs in the bottom four. It shows what a competitive league this is, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's a tough league. I think every manager you speak to, they will say it's such a tough league, and it is, because it's a graveyard for big former football league clubs. You look at the teams that are around the bottom, Scunthorpe, Oldham, Yeovil, those kind of teams. There's no divine right to be at the top of this league. You have to earn it. And Scunthorpe's a great football club, and you just feel sorry for their fans as to where they are now and what they're having to put up with. But I'm sure they'll sort it out in the long run. We've got to make sure that's not on Saturday.
And they are on a bit of a losing run at the moment, but it's almost sometimes dangerous when they come to your place, especially when you're doing so well at home at Hewish Park. You've got to just make sure that you take your game plan to them, I guess. We just have to perform on the day, physically, mentally, tactically. We have to be right on the day. We can talk about how poor a run Scunthorpe is, are on, but they have players that can hurt you, and there's not a lot between any of the teams. If you take the top 2 or 3 out of the league, there's not a lot between any of the teams, and it's about moments in matches that decide which way the afternoon or the evening's going to go, and we've got to make sure we're on the right side of those moments. And you look to have a pretty full strength squad, is that right? Especially as you said before, with Lawson and Charlie both getting minutes on Tuesday. Yeah, we've got a couple of illness. There's a lot of illness about, as you know. We've all had a bit of a chest and a bit of a cold, and there's loads of it about, and a lot of our boys are struggling with it. But I'm sure that come Saturday we'll be able to name a strong team. And it is becoming into that really busy festive period, isn't it? How important is it for you to get that win on Saturday against a team that are below you in the division? We need to win, simple. We need to win the game. However we do it, we need to win, because we have a tough game on Tuesday away at Barnet, and more tough games after that. So we need to win the game and put ourselves in a stronger position. Thanks, Mark, and good luck on Thursday. Thanks, Sheridan.
Well, you've been here, I don't know, a couple of months, was it? Must be now.
5 weeks.
Is that what it is?
Not that I'm counting.
Seems like ages. But are you happy with the progress you're making? Because certainly, you've turned the form around a little bit, and things are going reasonably well. I'm happy, yeah. I think you always want more. I've said before, I was left a good base by the previous manager. Players were in good nick, good defensive unit, and I don't know, we just added a little bit of something to the group and brought a couple of players in that's given us a spark. But as a coach, as a manager, you always want a bit more, and that's what we're trying to squeeze that little bit more out of the players. Now, you're playing a team that's had 6 defeats on the trot. I said to you earlier, don't like statistics like that particularly, because it's going to be the next one. But I mean, they're not playing well. They've only won 3 in the whole season so far. So I mean, you must have a pretty good chance of beating them, surely.
Well, we'd like to think so. We're at home. We're in decent form. They're not. But like I say, football's a funny game. And if at any point or we turn up and we think this is going to be easy, I'll tell you now, we get beat.
Mm.
And I can turn any of them stats around. You've just told me that they've only won 3 games. We've only won 4.
Yeah.
So you can make them what you want. All I know is that on the day we have to outrun Scunthorpe, we have to outfight them, and we have to show some quality when it really matters.
Mm.
If we do those 3 things, then we'll have a big chance to win the game. If we don't, it's a toss of a coin.
Notwithstanding the total tragedy of Saturday, how does it affect you in the sense that you've gone all the way up there, back down again? You haven't played 12 minutes or whatever it was. You haven't played much. Does that sort of disrupt things generally, or do you just have to sort of put it out of your mind and get on with it the next day?
I don't think like that. We're just thinking about the person that passed away, and you feel the pain, and you get on the bus and you get home. That's it, and then you prepare for the next week, and it's just that's football. And there's more. Some things are more important. And once we got the weekend out of the way, it was full focus on Taunton, and that game probably helped get it out of the staff and the players' minds and concentrate back on football.
And the game against Taunton, I mean, you both played strong sides. Will Buse, I think, made his debut, and Louis Britton, he scored a goal. Are they pushing for the first team, do you think?
Well, Louis was in the team on Saturday at Bromley. He started the game. He was frustrated, obviously, because it was his chance. he's gone in the team again on Tuesday and scored a goal. So he's not done himself any harm, has he? Will Boos has been a brilliant understudy for Grant Smith. He supported Grant in training and in the games, and it was important the other night. It was the other way around. So, you know, Boosey did great the other night, and we know that we've got a real top keeper if anything happens to Granny.
And you won the game, which obviously is nice, especially having lost to them in the FA Cup. I suppose there's a certain sense of revenge there. Not
for me. I wasn't here. It was a case of winning the game, getting some minutes into players that needed it, and getting through without any injuries, and all three of those happened. So it was a perfect night for us.
And then a tough game again on the Tuesday against Barnet. So they're thick and fast, aren't they, all the time?
That's correct. It is a very tough game. They're having a great season. Barnet, they're up in the playoffs, are they?
Yeah.
And listen, let's get Saturday out of the way, and then we'll concentrate on another really tough game on Tuesday night.
Well, best of luck for both of them.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.